Hari Om. In this video, we are going to discuss the requirement elicitation methods of requirement engineering. We have already discussed some of the requirement elicitation methods: interviewing process, brainstorming sessions, fast and quality function deployment method. Requirement elicitation is nothing but gathering the requirements is what you call as requirement elicitation. How to gather the requirements is what you call requirement elicitation methods. These are the different methods we have already seen in our previous classes. Today in this video, we are going to discuss the fifth elicitation method, which you call as use case approach. This is a very common and popular approach used in most of the software engineering applications. Use case approach is actually introduced by Ivar Jacobson along with others in his conference paper. He introduced this approach for elicitation as well as modeling. The use case approach actually gives you the functional view of the entire system. The functional view of the entire system. It describes what are the various functions provided for each and every user category, or I can say what are the different services that are provided for each and every user category. That will be described in the use case approach. That is why we say it gives functional view. The different terms used are use case scenario and use case diagram. Though these are used interchangeably, they are different from each other. Let us see what are these terms are. The use cases, it describes the structured outline of the user requirements, or I can say it is a template for the description of the user requirements. It is generally modeled in a structured language like English language. So use cases, it is simply describing what are the user requirements of that particular system. Whereas use case scenario, it is an unstructured description of all the user requirements. I am not going to have any particular structure. It just describes the scenario for each and every user category. Whereas the third one is called as use case diagrams, which is a very interesting representation. This is a graphical representation which can be decomposed into further levels of abstraction. So it describes who are all the users and what are the services or functionalities provided for each and every end user. And each and every category of the users will also be described in the use case diagram. Now if you take what are the components of use case approach, the two components of use case approach are, one is an actor, the other one is called as use cases. These are the two components of use case approach. Actor is nothing but an actor, or it can also be called as an external agent. It will be from outside the system model, but it will be interacting with the system. Actor is otherwise also called as external agent, and generally the actor will be outside the system model, and the actor can interact with the system directly or sometimes indirectly. So I can give some examples of an actor. Actor can be a person. When I say person, it can be an end user. Say for example, in a college management system, the teacher, student or parents can be called as an actor. Or it can also be a machine. When I say machine, Say for example, if it is going to be a weathercasting system, a signal processing or a signal receiving sensors can be an actor or an external agent which will be interacting with the system, or the actor can be an information system also. Say for example, a student management system is interacting with college management system. That can also be called as an actor. When you take an actor, you can have two types of actors, primary actor and secondary actor. Primary actor is the one having a goal requiring the assistance of the system, whereas secondary actor is the one from which system needs the assistance. Primary actor is the one having a particular goal because he or the system, the actor wants to perform a particular task, so he requires the assistance of the system. Whereas secondary actor is the one from which system needs the assistance. Say for example, when I say a student, if he wants to pay an online payment, if he wants to pay through online, the primary actor here is the student because his goal is he wants to pay his fee to the system. So he requires assistance from the system. Whereas a secondary actor is the one from which system needs assistance. So if the system wants to complete the task of online payment, it needs another system which can be called as a payment gateway. So it can be called as a secondary actor. So primary actor here is a student, secondary actor here is a payment gateway. So these two things can be called as actors in a use case approach. If you take use cases, the second component is use cases. A use case is initiated by a user with a particular goal. The user wants to perform a particular task that can be called as an use case. Generally, it describes the sequence of interactions between the actors and the system, and it is necessary to deliver, the services that satisfies the goal. Thus, I can say use case captures who does what with the system, for what purpose, without dealing with the system internals. That means it describes who is the one interacting with the system and for what purpose he is interacting with the system and what exactly is done by the system, without specifying how it is being done internally. So I can say, I repeat, it captures who does what with the system, for what purpose, without describing the internal architecture of the system. That is the use case. Now this is a sample or use case diagram. You can see here I have three actors specified. One is a data entry operator, the second one administrator, and the third one is a student or a teacher. And you have some use cases also designed here. So these are the actors, the first component of the use case, and these are the use cases, the second component of the use case. So the actor describes who and the use cases describes what. So here you can see the data entry operator interacts with the system for 4 different purposes. What are they? He wants to maintain student details, or he wants to maintain subject details, or he wants to maintain the result details, or he wants to log it. This is a sample example given in your textbook, Agarwal's textbook. You can also go through the other concepts and the detailing of the example. For the result management system, Agarwal has described this particular example. So these are the 4 cases that you can have for the data entry operator. Or if you take a student, the student can perform one particular task. What is that? He can view the result, or the teacher can view the results. Whereas the administrator is given, or the administrator or the director is given 3 different functionalities, I can say: login, generating the result reports, or viewing the results. So this is how we describe the use cases in a use case diagram. So use case diagram is nothing but a graphical representation of what are the different use cases available for the system through which the end users can interact with. So I can say use case diagrams represents the interaction between actor and the system, and it captures functional aspect of the system. So in this example, you can see who are all the end users of the particular system and what are the functionalities provided for that particular system. So data entry operator can perform 4 different tasks, administrator can perform 3 different tasks, and student or teacher can perform only one task. So what are the functions available in that particular system, or what are the services available in that particular system, and for whom these services are available. That is also described in the use case diagram. So I can say it captures the functional aspects. What are the functionalities provided by that particular system? That is what you call as functional aspects. What are the functionalities that are provided by the system? You call it as functional aspect of the system. Is described graphically in the use case diagrams. So your use case diagram, actors appear outside the rectangle, and in use case diagram you will have a box here. You will have a box here. This is the box. Actually this line will be having a box, something like this. So the actors will be appearing outside the rectangle, and the use cases will be inside the rectangle that will provide all the functionalities of the system, and the relationship between the actor and the use case will be provided by the solid line. So these are the symbols used in the use case diagram. You have seen in the example, actor will be depicted like this, and the use cases will be provided in the ellipse, and the relationship, the interaction between these two will be specified using a solid arrow line. Now when you take the use case approach, these are some of the guidelines that we have to follow in the use case approach. So if you want to find out the different requirements of a system, actually we use this use case approach only to collect the requirements of the system. So if you want to collect the requirements of the system, what you can do, you can follow this guidelines. What you have to do, first you have to identify all the users. As you have seen in this example, you have to identify that the system will have 3 different users. Who are they? Data entry operator, administrator, student, or teacher. Like that, you have to first identify all the users. Then you have to create a user profile for each category of the users, including all the roles of the users the users play that are relevant to the system. So what you have to do, you have to create a profile of student category, teacher category. You have to create a profile for the administrator. Like that, you have to create the profile, and you have to find out what is the role played by each and every user. That is the next step. Then you have to create a use case for each goal. Say for example, if you say the data entry operator is responsible for entering the marks. That is what you have given here, right? Sorry, subject details. The data entry operator is the one who is responsible for maintaining the subject details. That is what you are going to do here. You have to create the use case for each goal of this particular user profile. So data entry operator and his functionalities will be has to be the role or the responsibility is to be identified here. Then you have to create what are the services that will be provided for this particular user. If you can have different levels of detailing also. Suppose say one particular use case is to be decomposed into sub use cases. That is what you call as detailing. Say I want to specify maintain student details. When I say maintaining student details, the data entry operator will be doing sub use cases like adding a student detail, deleting it, updating it. So that will become the detailing of maintaining student details. Then what you have to do, you have to structure the use cases, align it and order everything, ordering all the use cases to be done in this structuring. Then you go for reviewing. So what you have to do, you after identifying the users, create a profile for them, find out what are the roles of that particular user, then find out what are the functionalities provided for that particular user, then structure all the use cases, then take it to the user or the customer for reviewing and validating. These are the things that are to be done if you are going to use case approach for requirements gathering. These are the things that you have to remember when you are using the use case approach. Your use cases should not be used to capture all the details of the system. You should not go for finding all the minute details of the system, because what is the significant aspects, what are the major tasks done by that particular system, that will be captured in the use case approach, not the finer details or the minute details. So only significant aspects of the required functionality is to be captured in the use case approach. Use cases are for what the system and not how the system will be designed. So what are the functionalities provided by the system? That is the only thing that will be identified in the use case approach. And you are not going to describe how the system is going to perform maintaining the student details, how the system is going to perform maintaining the subject details. That will not be described. You simply describe the use case for data entry operator is maintaining student details. That's it. So maintaining student details is what part of the system, whereas how it is being done is not described in the use case approach. And no design issues will be mentioned here, and it is free of design characteristics. So how part is not at all mentioned here in the use case approach. Now this is an example for use cases. We have seen in this example, these are the different functionalities. So these functionalities you can describe in the use cases like this. When I say maintaining student details, you can add, you can modify, you can update the student details like name and address of the student. When I say maintaining subject details, you can add, modify or update subject information semester wise, etc. etc. Maintaining the result details, it includes entry of marks, assignment of credit points for each paper. Login, obviously provide the user ID and password to enter into the system. And generating the result report, you can use to print various reports. How to collect, what are the different kinds of reports to be generated can be described here. For viewing the result, whether you want to view the result based on the course code or whether you want to view the result based on the enrollment number or roll number. That can also be specified here. So for each use case, you can describe what the use case is all about. That is the use cases listed for this particular example. Now, the detailing can also be given here. When I say maintaining the result details is one of the use case for the data entry operator. If so, you can describe what will be done by this particular task. So you can say this use case allows the data entry operator to maintain subject and marks information of each and every student. It includes adding and or deleting the subject and marks information from the system. So this describes what is being done by this particular use case. And who is the actor? Who is the end user of this particular task? The data entry operator is the end user or the actor. And what is the precondition for performing this particular task? The data entry operator must be logged into the system. Only then he can perform this particular task. What is the post condition? Post condition describes what happens after performing this particular task. So if this use case is successful, marks information is added or deleted from the system. Otherwise, the system state is unchanged. So these are the 4 information that you have to add for each and every use case. What are the things you will be adding? What is the use case all about? Who is responsible for that particular use case? What is the precondition? So if this task is to be done, what is the previous condition to be satisfied? Once this task is done, what is the after effect or what will be the system state change in that particular task? That will be post condition. So these are the things that will be described in the use cases. And this is another example for deleting a student. So what are the things we have seen? What are the different use cases? And maintaining result details we have taken as the one use case. For that use case, the introduction, the actor, precondition and post condition is described. The same way, we have also seen detailing can also be given. So when I say detailing, if I want to maintain student details, I will be adding, modifying is nothing but deleting, or you may be updating. So if you are going to delete a student, what are the things that you have to do in the system? The system will be requesting the data entry operator to specify the student ID. So if I want to delete a student, I have to give a student ID as a data entry operator. Then the data entry operator enters the student ID. Then the system retrieves and displays the student information. So that is what we generally do. If you want to delete a student information, provide the roll number or the register number of that particular student. That information will be retrieved from the database and it will be displayed to the data entry operator. Then the system prompts the data entry operator to confirm. Appa what you will be doing generally, or a delete button undavum, then you will be clicking the delete button. By the time the system will ask the data entry operator to confirm the deletion. Then the data entry operator confirms the deletion. Automatically the system will be marking the student record for deletion. So when you click OK, the data will be deleted from the database. Okay. So this is how the detailing will be given in the use case approach. So your use case approach is nothing but your use case approach gives you a functional view, and the 3 terms used in the use case approach we have discussed. The 2 components of use case approach, actor and use cases, we have discussed. And what is an use case diagram, how it is being represented, we have discussed. We have seen the use case diagram is nothing but it is used for capturing functional aspects of the system and it represents the interaction between actor and the system. And these are the three symbols used in the use case diagram: the actor symbol, use case symbol, and the arrow mark for specifying the relationship. And we have also seen what are the use case guidelines. We have seen an example of the result management system, in which what are the different use cases we have seen, how one use case can be described with 4 part of information like introduction, actor, precondition and postcondition. If you want to give further detailing, we have seen an example of deleting a student. What are the things to be done when you want to delete a student? So this is how a use case diagram helps in collecting the requirements in requirements engineering process. We will see requirement analysis in the next video. Thank you.